Hello, Fit Forever. Dr. Jeremy James with you for today's fundamental workout. Today we're going to work on lengthening the hip flexors. Now, shortened hip flexors are something that affects almost all of us. We get it from a lot of sitting. And shortened hip flexors, your hip flexor attaches from the front of your thigh to your lumbar spine, can cause a lot of stress and strain on your low back. So we're really going to focus on lengthening those today. If you find that you feel noticeably better, taller, freer, less pain, less stiffness after doing this fundamentals, hit that favorites button and come back to this regularly. What you're going to need today: a foam roller. Now, I've got a full-length foam roller here. For the purposes of today's workout, you can also use a shorter foam roller. I'm using the Trigger Point Core foam roller, which I like a lot. You can purchase these in the link in our apps, and Trigger Point's a great company. We've partnered with them to supply some of their products to our users. So a foam roller, a mat, and that's about it. Why don't we get started? We're going to start by using that foam roller to loosen up the thighs and the abdominal wall. So we're going to put it face down. Let's start with our right thigh and get in the position like I am. Brace your core. I want you to roll back and forth on that right thigh until you feel tender spots. Scan the area, find a tender spot, and then lean into it and breathe. Now, typically, these are very tender in the thighs, and I've got on one right now, and it is hurting. I'm going to relax into it, and I can feel those muscles just let go. For 10, 15, 20 seconds, maybe, breathing. And then I'm going to move on and scan the rest of the thigh. Now, don't just go straight down. Play with the angles like this, too. Get the inside, the adductors. Right above the knee right there, I've got a spot. And again, I'm just compressing when I find a spot. 15, 20 seconds, and then continuing to roll. I'm getting the outside of my right thigh. If you find a spot, your natural tendency is going to be to guard. I want you to make sure to relax into it. Right there. And I found another one up near the pelvis. It's crucial that you loosen these up before we do the hip flexor stretching. You're going to notice a huge difference. All right, let's go to the left thigh now. Same thing. Scan the area, identify trouble spots, and then breathe and compress into them. Okay, now I'm moving to the outside of the thigh. And if sometimes it's not uncommon to feel these points referring down towards your knee. Oof, there's one right there. Keep working it. Now I'm up towards the top of the thigh near the pelvis, and my left side's definitely worse than my right. I really needed this. I just did a long drive, 10-hour drive to get out here to beautiful Sedona, Arizona for a few weeks. And I am stiff. Keep working it. Ooh, right there. Get the inside of that thigh. You may have to move the foam roller around to really get in the inside, like so. All right. Now, this may be something you've never done before. We're actually going to get up into the abdominal wall. And you may find that you have trigger points in the abdominal wall. And these can cause a lot of stiffness in the hip flexors and also in the abdomen, which will affect your back. So put that foam roller right on the belly button to start. Let's lean on the right side. And if you got these, you'll know it. You give a slight little contraction of the abdominals and roll around. And this is something I found really helped me in the past when I had low back stiffness and pain, was to loosen these up. You're going to have to give a little bit of a brace in the core so that you can feel the muscles and you're not just poking into your viscera in there. Right there is a spot for me. Breathing. Easing into it. Back and forth. Just between the below the belly button and up to the rib cage. Scan that whole area and then compress. All right, let's put that to this foam roller to the side. And now, carefully, we're gonna go into some cobras. You wanna use your arms on this and not stress your back. And if this hurts your back, back off. If you have severe stenosis, this may not be a move for you. The rest of you, we're trying to keep your hip bones on the mat, these hip bones in the front, while we push down and also lengthen this way. So think about pushing your chest and head straight off the top of the crown of your head while also lifting up by pressing with your arms. Trying to keep the hip bones on the ground or close to the ground. Push the top of your chest up towards the air or the ceiling. Breathe and try to elongate your abdominal wall. Breathe. Play around with the angles if you need to, till you get the best stretch in the abdomen, maybe even in the groin. Hold and breathe. And back down. Now, if you can, I want you to grab the top of your foot for a quad stretch. If your mobility doesn't allow you to do that, pause the video, grab a tubing, a towel, anything you can hook around your foot and pull up like that. Pause, come back when you're ready. The rest of us, let's go. Grab the top of your foot and pull. Breathe. If it hurts your back, brace your core, see if that helps. Move your pelvis, try to tuck in your tailbone, see if that helps. If none of that helps, you can skip this one. Switch legs, same thing, other leg. All right, let's come on up into a seated position. Now, I want you to put your right leg back like I have, and your left knee is bent as well. So we got, this knee is almost closed out. This knee, my front knee, is at 90 degrees. Put the foot, your left foot, the bottom of your left foot into the inside of your right thigh. And then I want you to lean back and then squeeze the right buttock till you feel a nice stretch right through here. Some of you will be here as far as you can go. Some of you can get to the elbows. Some of you may be able to lay all the way down on your back. I can sometimes, but today I'm a bit stiff and I'm not gonna force it. I'm just gonna breathe here, squeezing that glute, really getting a stretch in the thigh, the groin. Feels good. Now again, if you're only to here, that's fine. If your ankle can't tolerate that, maybe you're here. Breathing, hold. All right, let's come back up. Switch legs. So now your left foot's behind you. Your bottom of your right foot's on your left thigh. We're gonna lean back. Maybe it's just your hands. I'm going to the elbows. Some of you can go all the way to the ground. Squeeze the left glute, and now I'm feeling it right through there. Breathing. Whew. And let's bring it back up. Okay, now I want to foam roll one more time on the thighs before we go into that kneeling hip flexor stretch. With this one, just make sure you've gotten all the areas. This is all about scanning as much of this surface area as you can. If you find a knot, I want you to compress and breathe. Let's start with the right leg. Do a quick scan. Hopefully you knocked out most of it the first time, but right there I've got one I'm going to hang out. Breathing. I'm finding more and more. You really got to relax into this and just get used to it. It takes practice, as I've always say about foam rolling. All right, I'm on the outside of my leg now, and I'm feeling some tightness right down about 2 inches above my knees, so I'm gonna hang out here, get these spots. All right, going back to the other leg, same thing. Breathing. Oh, right there. I mean, if you're not feeling anything in your thighs, it's likely you're not doing this properly. I mean, the vast majority of you are going to have some spots in here. So just keep working it, keep practicing. Breathe. All right. If you need to keep going, pause the video and keep working those as long as you feel like you need to. Take your time. The rest of us, let's finish up with our kneeling hip flexor stretch. Now, I want you to be careful on this. We're trying to open up this area. We're trying to do that, to elongate that area. That's what's going to take pressure off of our back. So with this kneeling hip flexor stretch, you may need a pillow under your knee if this hurts. Stop and grab one. But you want to make sure you're not leaning over like this because that negates everything we're trying to do. Trying to open this up. So watch me. I'm going to squeeze my right glute, stand tall, and force that movement to happen right here. And this is a hard stretch for me. I have very strong and tight hip flexors from a lot of mountain biking, and it's hard. But it's better now that I did all that prep instead of going right into this. All right. Let's do it. Left leg forward, right leg back. Get a towel, or I'm sorry, a pillow under your knee if you need it. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze that right glute, open it up, stretch right through here. Elongating this area. Make sure you're keeping good upright posture. Don't slouch. Breathe. And bring it back. Switch legs, switch pillows if you need to. Right leg forward, left leg back. Squeeze that left glute, shift forward, open up that area between your rib cage and your thigh. Breathe. Hold and breathe. Keep squeezing that glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's stand up and see how you feel. If you feel looser, which I know I do, go ahead and hit that favorites button and keep coming back to this. Short, tight hip flexors can cause enormous problems with your back, with how you move and how you feel, okay? So keep working these routines. And remember, change comes with commitment. You keep doing this stuff, it's gonna change your body and change your life. Until next time, thanks for joining me.
Never miss the latest videos from your Dr. Design Golf Fitness experts. Subscribe now.